memories. They talk about being with their grandpa and or being one of the redcoats or being in row F on the Tabittle or whatever it happens to be. Everyone has extraordinary memories about what this place means to them. And if you think about 100 years, and I think about, it's so awesome to see these guys that I had a chance to coach that are here, and they looked wonderful, and they're all so slim now, though. We wouldn't have won any games if you were that skinny, most of them. But to see them here and to see them a part of helping Coach Day and the staff and the team and the department and everyone else handle this challenge, this new set of rules, it's so much fun to see them here. And I know everyone in this room has got some memories. That's why you're here. You think about what was so important to you about being in this unbelievable stadium. 100 years. I know personally, I still have the game program from 1942 when my father was on a recruiting visit here. He happened to be the player of the year in the state of Ohio. He was here and we were playing Southern Cal. And I've got the game program. And he ended up coming here in the spring of 43. Everyone thinks that early graduation is new. He graduated in December of 42 and came early. And I see this, where's Les Horvath's jersey? It's around here somewhere. 22, right there. One of my memories, not that I was here, my dad threw a touchdown in the spring game to Les Horvath. But I also have a memory that at that time, whether it was our 42 national champions or the young people like my father that came in the spring of 43, there was something more important going on in the world. And most of them enlisted, my father included. So after having an extraordinary experience with Paul Brown in that 43 spring, he never got a chance to come back and play in this stadium. But as fate would have it, I had a chance to come back here in 1983 as an assistant coach with extraordinary receivers, the likes of Gary Marcinick. Some of you might not be old enough to remember Gary, but he could run like Terry Glenn. Kind of. If it weren't for Chris Carter being here, he'd have all the records. But Chris we only threw it like 6 times, Ryan, so you couldn't get as many records. But I had a chance to be here in 1983 and walk into this stadium in the first game, and my memory is, and I know you're thinking about your memories here, but when I got to walk into that opening game against Oregon, to think that I had a chance to compete in this stadium, my dad never did. And that was important to me. Just like the things you think about with your family and how this stadium has made a difference with your family. And then as fate would have it, I had a chance to come back in 2001, and I remember talking with the band director. One thing I knew for sure after having been an assistant here, the team is here just to give the band a little rest between pregame and halftime. And I get that, right, Ryan? I mean, we're the second show. I remember talking with Dr. Woods, and at the time the band was down here in the north end. Some of you will remember that, right? Band was down here. And I remember timidly going in to see Dr. Woods and say, Dr. Woods, would you consider moving the band down to the open end so that our team could go on the way out from the game and hear that alma mater? because we talked about that tradition that's so important, but our guys didn't get to experience it. So Dr. Wood said, certainly we'll move the band down there. And I said, I promise you, win or lose, we're going to sing the alma mater. If we lose too much, someone else will be singing the alma mater. The guys will be singing the alma mater. And I remember asking him, well, I thought I was on a roll. So I thought, I kept hearing about the skull session. But I'd never been at the skull session. My players didn't know anything about the skull session. Bobby, did you know anything? No, Bobby didn't know much about anything. And he's on the radio. But anyway, Bobby knows I like to pick on him because he wore me out. Ryan, your guys are angels compared to Bobby. So I was on a roll. I said, Dr. Woods, do you think we could stop by the skull session on the way to the game? Because our guys need to understand the tradition that this place is all about. And he was kind enough to let us come through, and our guys, Will Allen was there at the beginning. Will was probably one of those naysayers. Oh, Coach, what are we doing going through this? You were one of those, right? Will was a hater. But he came along, right? You drank the Kool-Aid. The first time those guys walked into that skull session, and most of you have been there, their eyeballs about popped out. Because that's what the tradition is all about. And so we can all talk about the extraordinary memories, the great wins. We saw the highlights. Since I was mean to Will, I'm going to be nice to him. He intercepted right there on the 1 yard line, Ryan, to send us to the national championship. Yeah. The only time I ever saw him catch an interception. Let me drop. Oh, you got what? You got one on a jailbreak screen.
No, I got one that went and beat Cincinnati too.
Oh, you got one that you want the mic? The Will Allen Show. But every single person that's had the blessing to wear that helmet or wear that headset or be in this stadium has got memories, and the only thing constant is change, and the landscape has changed, and we've got to make sure that Coach Day and his staff and his students and Gene and all the sports and everyone has every opportunity to get what they deserve, to see the appreciation all of us have for the memories that they create for us. That's what it's all about. Ellen and I are truly honored to be here, and this will be another one of those memories for us. God bless. Thanks so much.
Let's go.